So I knew I was gonna film this video. When I was thinking about filming it, I was like, you wanna do this in the morning, you love the morning hours, you'll just get ready really quick. I just did like a 2-minute freaking makeup look. Why don't you drink your coffee and do like little coffee talks like this here and there? Because you guys loved my last video about dating and relationships and Tinder and stuff that I just posted, reflecting back on my Tinder days of young adulthood. I have my best thoughts, talks, and like vibes in the morning with my coffee. So why don't I just like sometimes film and just talk to you guys like we're literally hanging out while I'm drinking my morning coffee. I just made the coffee in a vlog that's gonna go up probably a few days after this video. So if you want to see how I made this coffee, feel free to check out my future vlog and subscribe. And follow me on social media if you want to keep up with me. Twitter and Instagram I am very active on. Today we're gonna talk about why I regret my plastic surgery, and I searched it up. Arm liposuction is considered plastic surgery. I'm gonna kind of go through the story of why I got it, the place that I was at when I got it, the mental space, why I regret it, and hopefully can like stop some of you from making really life-changing decisions in the plastic surgery world and things that you can't reverse, or you have to get another procedure to fix and spend more money, etc, etc. I kind of never thought I would be that person that would regret something like this or really ever do anything like this either. Now dealing with it and having like full 2020 vision hindsight and being like, what was I thinking, honestly, is a lot. If you're curious if I've had any other work done or anything like that, I have not. I have only had my lip injections multiple times and arm liposuctions. Those are the only two things I've ever done and paid for. I considered a boob job back in 2016 and I'm so thankful I did not ever go through with that. I, one, know my body would reject it, and two, just the tiny boob look is for me and it fits my frame a lot better. I literally don't know what I was thinking back then. So these are things we're gonna talk about. You have to be very careful and really think through everything and all the factors with these beauty enhancements and these plastic surgery procedures and all these things. And I feel like a lot of it comes from insecurity, of course. It comes from childhood insecurities where now when you're an adult and you have adult money, you kind of just like feel like you're ready to do it and that it'll fix everything, and like, oh my god, this thing I've hated on myself for so long, like I finally get to fix it. I feel like a lot of times it is very successful, like people get nose jobs that are life-changing and stuff, like I totally understand, but I feel like a lot of times there's complications with everything, like nothing just goes ever perfectly as great as it may look, like there could be other complications or just regrets. It's tough because they really play on our insecurities, you know, and they want your money, they want your business, and I feel like they don't tell you certain things either until you're literally in the freaking operating room. So we will get into that. Let me start off by saying I did make a video about this in 2020 or 2021. So I am not at all like going back on what I'm saying about the company or anything like that. Like I didn't lead you guys to a company that wasn't good or anything like that. One, I wasn't sponsored. I paid for it fully myself. I paid for everything myself. It was all my experience. I found them on my own time and with my own research. Everything went well. They did everything safely. I am very happy that I chose them. I just simply regret my own decision. So let's get into the story of why I decided to get arm liposuction. So this was like late 2020 and this year was a super crazy year for me financial wise. I had just started doing fans the year before and it was popping off but not too crazy, and when I really started to take it seriously and make videos about it on my YouTube channel and stuff, like it really popped off for a minute. I just made bank that year. It was also the pandemic, so a lot of people were at home looking for content like that. It was brand new. The Bella Thorne controversy that made fans blow up even more. It was just a really poppin' year for OnlyFans girls, and it wasn't nearly as saturated as it is now. I was just kind of like right place, right time, trying to make a little extra money. And when I'm doing OF content and stuff, like I was heavily editing my pictures at that time. And now looking back on it, like I feel kind of bad for doing that and I regret doing that. Not that it was anything crazy. I was, you know, getting a little insecure as I'm seeing all these pictures. I'm constantly seeing myself in different poses and just like constantly having to take photos of myself for all platforms, film myself on YouTube, like do all these things where I'm getting very highly aware of what I look like. Let's back up even a little bit more. 2019, I did a weight loss journey where I started in February of 2019 and I was 167-ish pounds, and and I got down to as low as like 136, but that was my low at the time. And I'm 5 feet tall, by the way, so that's still not low. I, at this time, genuinely did not think I was overweight. Like, I didn't care about scales or BMI or anything like that, so I didn't really like know what I classified in at those times, but I thought I was like skinny. Like, I think I honestly have like weird body dysmorphia where all the time I think I'm skinny, I guess. I don't know, because like now I totally see myself as like fit and thin, and like I can see it and really grasp the idea that I am in a smaller body. Like, I don't have bad body dysmorphia now where I feel like I'm super heavy or anything like that. I know a lot of people get that after weight loss and stuff, and it's really hard to deal with, but I personally don't have that. Like, I'm like, okay, I earned this body, I did it, I look good. So maybe it was just delusion and denial from me, but like I refused to believe that I was big, and I didn't believe that I was big. Like, I was literally being delusional, and I didn't even know it. Slowly, from the end of 2019 till the basically beginning of the pandemic, early 2020, I was slowly gaining the weight back. I wasn't taking my health seriously. I was still posting weight loss content and stuff on TikTok, but I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't learn health until last year, literally. I was still eating processed foods. I was still eating fast food. I was still, and which is fine, I still eat it here and there, but just like every day for multiple meals, I was eating fast food, processed sugar. And 2020, early-ish, I was about 145. You know, I was definitely still big for my height, and I just didn't really realize it. I didn't weigh myself a lot. I didn't see it. I was in denial again. I was starting to get in denial that I was gaining weight, and it was obviously upsetting me. I obviously knew in my heart of hearts that I was gaining weight. Like, I obviously knew my clothes were fitting different. I was having to wear the bigger size again. I knew what was going on, and it was hurting me. And one, I was having a lot of issues in my personal life that were going on at the time that were causing me to eat, definitely emotionally eat. That's what I was a very emotional eater. Was just feeling very low. I kind of stopped filming YouTube around that time. I feel like that's when my YouTube really started to suffer too. So it was just kind of all in all a really bad year, besides the fact I was making a shit ton of money on like, that was the only thing going right for me that year. Towards the end of the year, I remember the moment, okay? I've always been insecure about my arms. Like, I have never liked my arms. I always felt like they were big. But like I said, I was in delusion, so I was like, oh my god, like, I have lost weight. Like, I'm a skinny now. Like, not that I actually thought I was skinny, but like, I've lost weight. Like, why are my arms still big? I remember even telling people like, oh, like, I just need to get my loose skin removed. Like, that's why my stomach looks like this. It wasn't skin, it was weight that you were starting to gain back. That's why your arms were looking bigger. So don't think I'm saying anything bad about gaining weight or being bigger. I'm fucking not. And like I'm saying, I thought I was awesome. I thought I was the bomb.com, but I was definitely in denial in certain ways, okay? Late in 2020, I had my best friend Sarah over, and I was chilling with Seb, and we were all in my apartment, and I was wearing like this tight black t-shirt. And if you have insecurities with your arms, you know that if you wear a tiny, thin, tight material in a t-shirt and you're insecure about your arms, you will feel like the biggest human on this earth. Like, some of you can relate, some of you might not. Wearing this type of t-shirt, and I'm already uncomfortable in it, I'm feeling really insecure, and we smoked a little, you know, but when I would smoke, I would get like really insecure around this time. I would smoke and everything would like come out tenfold. I would be like painfully aware, like all those suppressed thoughts of denial would come to the front of my brain. I don't know if anyone's ever dealt with that, let me know, because like I would just become painfully aware of all the things I was suppressing when I would do that. That's why I don't really like that. I don't really do it. We're all supposed to be chilling and vibing, but I'm not vibing. I'm having mental destruction going on in my head right now, and I am becoming so aware of my body, and I started just changing my clothes. Like, I was just like, I can't do this. And before I did that though, I looked in the mirror and I turned to the side. I look at this arm. I think to like really just be like, let's look at yourself right now. Like, let's just really like take it in. I noticed my arm. I have like the vision in my head, and I'm like, why is it so big right now? Like, I don't know if it was body dysmorphia or what, but literally so insecure about my arm, okay? So I go and I change my clothes, and I'm just like still kind of high, you know, just not feeling good. And I was like, I can't do this. And I'm telling you, I have more money at this point. I have more expendable money, which I was really bad with my money around that era. And when I was younger, I'm not like that at all now. I would never make the decision to do this now. I would have just done a weight loss journey. But anyways, we'll get into that. I was lazy. I was not willing to change my eating habits, my working out habits at the time. I was like, I have money. Like, I'm gonna look into liposuction. I started doing a bunch of research on liposuction, asking people's opinions. Everyone was like supportive and just wanted me to like fix my insecurity. Like, I'm telling you, my arms have always been an insecurity. I've never had skinny arms until maybe now. I found the place that I went to. If you want to go watch the video, you can go watch all the information. Great company still, regardless. I have nothing bad to say about them, except maybe that I feel like I got told things like too late, but we'll get into that too. They told me it was $4,000. Mind you, I'm not close to my goal weight when you're getting procedures like this, so it really is my due diligence, and it was my job to not just be in denial because I wanted it so bad. Just be like, fuck it, I'll be fine. You really should take it seriously when they say like you should be close to your goal weight when you get procedures like this. So that's all on me. Like, that is completely my fault for just wanting something so bad and not listening to like who really qualifies to get it. So at this time I'm probably like pushing 150, so I'm not close to my goal weight. For reference, right now I am 112. That's a solid weight for me. I plan to stay there, maybe go a little bit lower because I am so short, but I'm not trying. I don't care. I'm fine right now. That's a big difference from now until then. Had I done it now, which I wouldn't have needed to though, I wouldn't have even got the procedure, it would have been a lot better. I set my appointment, I want to say it was like early December, I think, of 2020, and I'm so excited. Seb drives me to the appointment and we get there, we go in, I pay right away and it's like a really bougie place, like it's literally in Beverly Hills. So we go into the room where they like weigh you, they do all their tests or whatever. The doctor is talking to me, gets my weight. I think I was around 145. So compared to my weight now and the weight that I got this arm liposuction procedure done at, is like a 30+ pound difference. So he's looking at my arms and he's like, yeah, you're gonna have some loose skin for sure. And I'm like, okay. I guess I was just so stupid that I thought this was the end all be all. Coffee break. I really thought I was gonna get out of there with like movie star arms. I really thought I was immune to loose skin or something. I wasn't really prepared to be told that, but I already paid and I was literally about to go get this thing done. So what are you gonna do at that point, right? And obviously there's things like arm lifts, which I genuinely am still looking at to this day, but I'm not gonna do anytime soon or spend extensive amounts of money on things like that right now. So I kind of just forget about it, let it go, and he gives me medicine. So when you're getting this procedure, you're getting fat sucked out of you. You're literally technically awake and fully conscious, but like not. Also, this disturbed me a little bit. I guess I just didn't know what I was getting myself into. I remember being so excited to get my forearm fat cut down. I was under the impression that when you get arm liposuction, your entire arm is gonna get fat sucked out. The lower part and the upper part, that would look cohesive, right? Like that would look good. So I was so excited for that, and I was telling him that, and he was like, oh, we don't do that. And I was like, oh my god, like I'm literally about to get this done, and I was so excited. But I guess I just didn't do my research good enough. I really didn't. I didn't care to do much research. I was just so eager to have it done, and that's definitely where I messed up and a regret that I have. So I didn't even know they didn't do the other half of your arm. So he tells me this 2 fucking minutes before I'm about to go get the fat sucked out of my arm. So I'm like, okay, another thing I had no idea. This is not exactly what I wanted, so this kind of sucks, but it's okay. I still get to get something done to make me feel better, you know? I start getting a little crazy from the medication the doctor gave me and get on the table, and I remember the last thing I said before I felt like super unconscious for the next like hour or two or however long it is, I don't even know, was like, make sure you get all the fat out, like suck it all out. Like I was like so determined to remind the doctors that know exactly what they're doing, to suck the fat out of my arms as if they weren't gonna do that already. I was like, get it all out. Don't remember anything that happened from that moment. I do remember feeling the pain. A literal like device goes into your arm through your armpit. It's making me feel sick. Oh my god, and like weak. It goes through your armpit and it goes down to like through your arm, like down, and sucks the fat out. I remember the feeling, you're just so chilling on laughing gas that you have no idea, you do not care. Like it's very interesting how that works. And then I remember getting up, and I do remember what like my blood and fat looks like. Oh my god, I'm getting weak. So they wrap me up, I think at that point, and I'm in my little compression garment thing, and Seb was waiting outside. He drives me home. I was just feeling kind of like sick the rest of the day and weird, but I started coming back to life later in the day, and I was really excited, you know, like I could tell my arms were so much smaller. I was wearing a compression garment though, so like my arms look literally perfect. So a few days later, I take my first shower and I have to take the compression garment off for the first time. So I have Sebastian help me, and I see my arms for the first time, and I did really like them, but there was definitely a level of shock, and I do feel like it changed my tattoos just the tiniest bit. I feel like maybe there were certain things I didn't do. I didn't want to massage them because they scared me. Like even now, like my arm consistency is kind of weird. So I remember like really being happy, but also just being like, damn. And especially because after I got this done, and I felt better about my arms at this point. I should never have gained any weight, but guess what I did? I started to be like, well, my main insecurity is gone. I got the fat sucked out of my arms, and they tell you that it's not really gonna come back. Like once you get it sucked out, it's like kind of hard to have the fat want to go back there. So I was like convinced like, oh my God, I'm gonna have like nice skinny arms forever. I was gaining weight rapidly at this point, it felt like, and I was totally avoiding the scale. I had no idea what I weighed at this point. All I knew is I was back to my old clothing size of like a 10 and 12 bottom. I was still in full denial, would take fans content, and I was feeling really insecure about myself. I would literally just take photos of myself and be like, no fucking way, I'm just gonna edit that and pretend I didn't see that. Like, it just didn't look like me, it didn't feel like me. I was just so disappointed in myself for gaining the weight back, especially because I had just gone on a weight loss journey in 2019 and been fairly successful, not fully successful, but like decent, you know. To just know that I had gained it all back probably at that point, but I didn't know because I didn't go on the scale, was pretty fucking depressing for me. Just taking pictures of myself was really hard. One of the things that was just capturing my attention and giving me insecurity again, and I just like couldn't believe it, was my arms. I just got this procedure done. I just spent $4,000. I think it was a little more than that. I just spent this crazy amount of money, and I'm literally insecure about my arms again. I hate the way that they look. So I feel like the photos were really giving me the idea of like, wow, that just doesn't look good. Like it's not like they did anything wrong or the results weren't good. I just don't feel like I was the right candidate, and I feel like they maybe could have told me that, or instead of the first time going to meet them in person seeing my body, I was about to get the procedure done, maybe I could have had like an in-person consultation, and that could have been a little better, and they could have warned me more of these things, and then I could have made an informed decision. Who's to say, had I not gotten this procedure and just continued to yo-yo in my life, I wouldn't have a bunch of loose skin on my arms when I successfully did lose the weight finally, like I have now. I do feel like it made it 10 times worse for the fact that, one, I got liposuction when I wasn't at a smaller weight, I was at a bigger weight for my body, which they don't recommend. Two, that right after that, I ended up gaining a bunch of weight, and during 2021, I had gotten back up to over 160 pounds. That's not a crazy weight gain or anything, but it's definitely enough. I feel like where my body and my arms were like, what's going on? Because you just got the fat sucked out of me and now you're putting on more. My arms were just looking so bad, you guys. Like, just so incredibly lumpy. They looked better before. At least they looked smooth before, you know what I mean? But now they're lumpy, they're disc-shaped because the bottoms didn't get any fat sucked out of them, like the forearms. I feel like I went through this and I hate my arms even more. And this is like later in 2021 where I'm really like, okay, I am not liking the way my body looks. My arms are not it. I spent all that money for literally fucking nothing. But you have to blame yourself. Like, I have to blame myself for this. I decided in 2021 to just completely let myself go, to just completely eat whatever I wanted, do nothing with my life that was productive, like literally just spend all my time and energy elsewhere. Like, I was doing nothing positive. Okay, that's honestly probably a big driving factor of why I decided to do this weight loss journey, because I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I love myself too much to let myself go like this, especially I was 26 at the time, or 25 in 2021. I don't even fucking know. I was like too young and had too much of my life ahead of me to be feeling this way and looking this way and spending all this money on my insecurities that only make them worse. It really made me have like a new appreciation and love for myself, and just be like, you don't need to do all these things to feel better. Like, you actually just need to take care of yourself from the inside out. You need to nourish your soul. You need to nourish your body. You need to move your body and be active. You need to take care of yourself. You can't just spend some money to get something completely wiped away and fix the problem, if that makes sense. I feel like that's something big that I learned, was just like, you need to put in the fucking work. And that's why when I started this whole journey to get my life back on track, and I started it December 1st of 2021, that's why 2022 was my hard work year, where I put in work on myself inside and out. Now I am very satisfied with my body. We'll all have insecurities about our bodies always, you know. Now I've lost all the weight in my arms. I literally like don't have any fat in my arms, and I think that could be because of my liposuction. I'm not sure, 'cause it's literally all skin. This is what I have to deal with. It's just so strange, and I want an arm lift so bad, and that's why I haven't gotten any tattoos right here, because I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that. I might. This is like, damn, I really fucking did that. Like, I did it. Like, all the fat is gone, but then you just have this piece of you that you're like, I regret that, because my skin would not be loose there had I probably just done the weight loss journey. It might be a little loose because I had yo-yoed and been up and down my whole life, but I don't think it would be to this extent had I not gotten the plastic surgery and gone through that whole journey of gaining and then losing everything. So I really wish I hadn't done it. I do have regrets on it, and that's just kind of my story. I hope this will just make you think, or you just enjoyed the story. Either way, and just kind of rethink those things and realize that, like, just because it sounds so good and maybe too good to be true, that it probably is kind of. And although I do feel like there was certain positive sides to it, I do feel like it helped me at a certain point of time. It didn't take the insecurity away at all. And when you get things like that done, you have to be really careful. I wasn't prepared for it, if that makes sense. So if you are going to do something like it, like, I also do totally support you if you want to do anything cosmetic or plastic surgery, because it really can help a lot of people. I am not against body modifications or anything like that. I'm just saying to really do your research and be careful, because I literally did no research. I just found a place, said that sounds cool, and got it done, and didn't follow proper aftercare directions, didn't follow, you know, a healthy lifestyle that they tell you to and everything, and I just feel like I screwed myself up more. But now I'm in a place where I am confident. I am the happiest I've ever been with my arms, if that matters. Yeah, I still have some loose skin on my arms, but I see it as like a battle scar, I guess you could call it. Like, I just see it as like, I really did that. I went through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life with weight and health, and now I'm truly at the best place in my life, at the happiest place in my life, the most confident, self-sure place in my life that I've ever been at. And I just need to thank my past self for everything that she went through to get myself to where I am today. No matter if it wasn't perfect, and there's things that I would take back and things that I regret, I do thank that girl for a lot. I do feel like I've learned a lot. So I'm constantly growing, evolving, and we're all gonna have regrets in this life, but it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. So it's really not that bad. Once again, simply put, do your research if you want to do anything like this. Really research where you're going, what you're doing, things you need to do before, things you need to do after, and if you're prepared to do those things, and if you are really ready, like, really put some thought into it, because just going into it willy-nilly, I feel like, is not the best thing to do when you're doing permanent, life-changing procedures and making permanent, life-changing decisions. So many things come with weight issues in your life, and it really sucks. Growing up, you know, size 0 was the standard. Growing up, I was literally the chunkiest girl probably in my school, or one of them. That just does something to you. I'm not gonna blame myself or be mad at myself for making decisions like this, because I was only doing what I could, doing the best I could with the knowledge I had at the time, with the feelings that I had and how I'd been treated in the world and everything, like, you know. So you have to just not be hard on yourself. Companies, at the end of the day, these brands, these whatever, really do profit off of our insecurities. It's all about money at the end of the day, you know? So just be careful with your money too, because a lot of times they want you to feel insecure about yourself, and they want to get you in because they want money. Anyways, I could talk about this stuff for days. I could talk about weight loss, all this stuff, but we will do that in another video. So I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me everywhere, okay? I will see your lovely, beautiful faces in my next video. Bye, guys.